Hey guys, welcome back to another episode and a new season of Beauty with a Twist. I'm super excited for this episode because we have a special guest. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Mila Zambrano. I am located in Long Beach, California. I have been an esthetician for 6 years now, going on 7, and I'm the owner of Skin Bar by Mila.
Oh my gosh, wait.
Yeah.
I've been an esthetician for like 6 years too.
Really?
Yeah.
What school did you went to?
I went to Amy's Beauty School in Corona.
Okay.
Where did you go?
I went in Huntington Beach, Golden West.
Did you go full-time?
Full-time, baby.
So you finished in
Full-time.
how long?
6 months, almost 7.
Okay, I was part-time.
I can't remember. It's been so long.
Honestly, I feel like now the schooling only does...
It's nothing. I'm
Like,
so scared.
what?
We were just talking about this. I was like, yeah.
It's like no practical. Are you serious? Just
Nada.
written?
Nada.
But did they make the written harder, you think?
It was, I don't know. But for me, the written was so easy just because I was like
In your books all the
eating
time.
skin
Mm-hmm.
all the time. Like I was just obsessed, which I still am. But
Yeah.
it was just so easy, even though for me, it's hard to kind of give tests in English since it's a different language. But
Yeah,
when you know it by heart, it's easy.
it's easy. So
Mhm.
did you kind of like when you started school, did you know you already wanted to do facials? Or like tell me how did you start this journey?
Okay, so I started this journey. I always wanted to be somewhere in the beauty industry. I just didn't know what.
Mhm.
But I went to school for communication and public affairs, and I did a
Oh.
minor of marketing and human resources.
Mhm.
So I did my 3rd year here, and I met my husband, and that's like close to the area that we're here.
Mhm.
And then, long story short, I graduated in communication and public affairs. And then when I was here, I had a really horrible boss. Like I became so good at doing retail, and I was managing stores like Banana Republic, Asics, Gap Inc., Lucky Brand, like
All of
the-
them.
I mean, not at the same time, but like through
But
my
different.
career.
Yeah.
And that gave me so much confidence with like working with teams and like
Mhm.
managing people. And that's part of, my career that I graduated with.
Mhm.
And human resources with like hiring, firing, because it's not easy. And I
know.
was very good at it. And then
Yeah.
the sales, I was very good at it. But then I was like, I'm just not happy. I just felt like I was constantly
That
working.
retail life is
And it really killed me.
Mhm.
Like I was literally size 4 running on coffee 24/7. So it was just insane. And then it's a blessing in disguise, I guess, that my last boss was just such a nightmare that I just went into like full on stress, that I just take a leave of absence. And then I started doing things. It took like a year off where I
Mhm.
saved a lot of money. And then I was like, I'm just going to try to find myself because I started getting a lot of anxiety from it. And it was very
that
creepily.
bad?
Yeah. My hair fell off. It was just so bad. And other personal things came into
Yeah.
play. But then just having that much anxiety got me into the point that I wouldn't even leave my house. I wouldn't even drive because I got anxiety once on the freeway. And then I was like,
That
it's horrible because you feel like you died.
yeah.
Like it was just so bad. And then bless my husband, he tried everything he could. But only when you go through it,
No one can help you.
no
feel
one
like,
can
yeah,
help you.
Or
And when
understands.
people tell you, you just have to breathe. I'm like, estoy respirando.
Pero sabes que in the Mexican world, my mom never believed in anxiety.
nadie.
It's not real
No,
for us.
no hablan.
you know?
They
Sí.
don't talk about it.
Yeah.
So, people try their best. But anyways, it took a long time. But that gave me the opportunity to go into makeup, do all these other things that I wanted to do. Because
Mhm.
when I got married in 2015 in Ecuador, my makeup artist never showed up. He only sent his assistant to do my hair. So it was also a blessing in disguise because when I did the trial, I looked like everything but myself. Like it was just too much.
Oh yeah.
You know?
And I feel like you're naturally beautiful. Like you don't need the whole
Thank
extra.
you. I always
No.
want all the extra, but it was just not myself.
So yeah.
And then my bestie, she actually did my makeup and it was so much better. Like 1,000% so much better.
Mhm.
And then that catapulted me into well, I don't want to risk it with anything else. I want to take matters in my own hands.
Mm-hmm.
So when I came back after getting married in Ecuador, I went into school for makeup. So that was kind of like a little bit of the taste that I got.
Because they teach you makeup in esthetician school, right?
And yes, but they were having issues with like still having texture under the makeup and doing all the things. And I was like, I was really into prepping skin. And my husband was like, you're disgusting because you're watching all these horrible videos while you're eating. Because it was like blackheads. I think it was like I went into like a YouTube of Dr. Pimple Popper.
Oh my gosh. And she's
she's crazy. So I was like, I love this. And then he was literally, well, if you want to keep doing makeup, you can do makeup. So I did. The main career point is when I took a gig to work at Milk Studios to work for, do you know the scrubs wear figs?
Oh my God, yes.
Out of everything that I have done, because I've done some shows and I've been like, back then I was like, I had anxiety, but I also wanted to like work because I didn't want that to deter and ruin my life. But I also wanted a controlled environment where I can tap out. And my friend helped me out with that and she hired me for that. And then we got a lot of nurses and dermatologists and doctors in general.
Yeah.
And everybody that I had made
Wore
like it were exactly that. So they literally were just like, just go to school. What are you doing? Just go to school. And that was the last point where I was like, I'm blessed to have this opportunity at Milk Studios because every makeup artist wants to do that. But it was just not for me. Like, I hated the fact that I had to roll my entire things and like put everything and then clean all the things. I was just like,
it's a lot. I know.
It's a lot. And I have so much respect for makeup artists because this sanitation is just so crazy.
And honestly,
it's a lot of
labor. If you like, when I used to do weddings and I would do like all the bridesmaids, 8 bridesmaids, and then the bride. And I would get there like 3:30 in the morning and I would not stop. And I remember like at the end of it, I would be like exhausted.
I was so exhausted and my back was hurting me. Anyways, so then I was like, blessed, but I don't want to do it again. They invited me again and I was like, it's not for me. Kid you not, from that time till 2 months later, I enrolled in esthetician school. I was like, I just have to do it. And my husband was like, just do it.
Yeah.
Métete. You always wanted to do it and go all in. So he was the one who pushed me and he's like, you just have to do it because I'm from Ecuador and my family was like, nails, hair, that's labor that doesn't get paid well. So my dad was like, you already have your degree, lean on that. And I was like, it just doesn't make me happy. In my culture, it's like you have to climb the corporate ladder in order to find success. And it's not true. It's not true.
Yeah.
It's not true. So, So I went to school in 2018, 6 months. I went in and mind you, I was having full-on panic attacks. Like, it was insane.
But what was it? Was it because you still had it from, like, your PTSD from your old job? Or was it because, like...
Just, you can't really pinpoint it if it's there and everything is just heightened. You just can't really pinpoint it. So, if you are an esthetician who wants to go to school, there are school resources that will help you. And it was nice to have the resources. I never used them. And I think a few of my fellow estheticians knew, and I was still taking medication, but those medications make me gain so much weight, which my doctor didn't disclose. So it was like very kind of like you get anxiety, then you gain weight, then you don't recognize yourself and you're like, what the hell is going on? Then you're excited because of this new career. Then it's also like you're 30 and you change careers. So it's like everything
was just smacking you
but
all
exciting at the same time. The ladies that I graduated with, it was such a nice class because the teachers were the ones fighting with each other, but we were cool. So normally it's from what I heard is the opposite. So that was really nice. And then I went to work for a sugaring place. See, but you told me like, but what did you know that you wanted to do facials? I didn't know. I knew that facials is the main thing.
Mm-hmm.
All I could think about is like, give me all those blackheads, you know, give me like, you know, but I just went for it. And then once you get the hands on like what to do, my school wasn't good at like really fully training you.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the people who went to get facials were older people in around our area, and they just wanted to get rubbed and massaged because we offer European facials. What I did know right away is that I did not want it to do waxing
anywhere.
No. Nada. I don't care about hair.
Sugaring.
Exactly. I don't know why. Because I can tell you why. Because the friend that I had back then, she actually did sugaring, and her mentor did sugaring. And when I rented a place next to them, it was just, I don't know, I didn't think it through. And I was like, well, if it's a demand, I'll own it. But you have no idea how much labor sugaring is, have you? My fingers, because you have to drag. And then I was like, this is not for me. I was a sweaty mess. And I just felt like the labor and I also wasn't fast. So I just felt like the labor that I put it in, it didn't reflect in the dollar amount.
No, we had a sugaring person that was working here, and she did a Brazilian. Usually I do Brazilians in like 10 minutes or less.
See.
And she did a sugaring. It takes her like 45 minutes.
It's insane.
And
money
I'm like,
down the drain.
Yeah. And I'm like, maybe because I have no idea. She waxed my arms one time. She sugared my arms. And it took her like a cool minute. I'm like, I could have done this in like, I'm thinking like 5 minutes. Yeah.
It's very different. You know, it's also like whatever the client wanted. But I started in Cyprus in a tiny, tiny room. I only paid like $600 for that tiny room, which felt like thousands of dollars back then. Because mind you, I'm from Ecuador. I have people that I know, but I don't have like a really close friends that will actually are interested in doing facials. And we don't have family here. It's just my husband and me. My husband is from Colombia. So it's like, we're packed by ourselves. So when I started my business, I started by myself, like in a dream. And I think I just had like $1,000. And then I was like, this is what I'm going to invest. This is what I'm going to do. I'm not going to buy a machine. I'm just going to do this. But when I was in school, I was still going to trainings with Image Skincare because that's all we knew. Going to all the trainings in Dermalogica, getting all the knowledge that I could that was for free. And I paid for other stuff. I also got certified in lashes. No, not lifts. Lash extensions. And I was like, I was good at it, but I was not fast. And I knew that I had to stop myself because I was going to get carpal tunnel.
Oh, yeah.
And I was getting booked with them. And then I was like, I just took them out of my menu. And I was like, I don't want to be a lash artist. This is a lot of work. And I was in so much pain at the end of the day. And I was like, this is going to kill me. So I just focused on facials.
So then you went after school, you went to that sugaring and got a room.
Yes, I went to, I jumped the gun. I actually went to this franchise, big sugaring franchise that I will not name. And then I just didn't like the way that they were serving clients because it felt very transactional and they were not as clean. So I was really afraid to have my license on a place that I could get fined or just felt very transactional.
Yeah.
So when I was in the training part, I just literally called the owner and I was like, you know what? I could only imagine how much money you're pouring into me. I'm just not going to move forward because this is just not for me. I was listening to one of your podcasts where you talked about with one of the waxers that was here, and she said that she went to European Wax Center and they like threw her into the wolves. It felt like that. I think I only have 5 models and they're like, you ready? And I was like, no, girl, I'm not ready.
And that's it?
They wanted me to do it probably like
and how many
10, 15 minutes. No, I didn't get to the point.
Oh, you couldn't?
Because I was like, this is horrible service. I know that I'm not going to deliver. They're like, well, we'll give you more time. We'll give you 5 more minutes. Me. And I was like, no. And then I realized that when we were getting the next, even if there were models, they were just not cleaning. And other things were this close that I was like, this is not okay. So I just quit.
So then after that, you went and rented a room?
Mm-hmm. And then this girl was like, just come. And I was like, okay. Then I decided to get a puppy first. Doctors noticed. They're like, you just get a puppy. It's going to help with your anxiety. So I convinced my husband. And that's how I got my firstborn. So I took probably 5 months so I can train him before I went solo. And then I found this place and I was like, I'm just going to do it. And I was only there on that place, I think, for 4 months before my business grew.
How did you make it grow? Like, what's the secret? Because, y'all, she's big. Okay, in this industry, I was looking at her. You know what it is, though? You know what attracted me to you? Your reels. You're so, like, I don't know, like, the way you are with your audience and the way, I don't know, you're just so... I don't know. I loved your page.
Thank you. I just feel like I have a little bit
so
of everything.
Connected. Yeah.
I feel like I just post whenever I'm very like motivated and I have something to say, even though some people are going to tell you, you just have to have consistency. I feel like you just have to be authentic and just post what you truly believe, because people can't call bullshit when they see stuff. So I did that. And then I moved because I was in Cyprus, and then I moved to Long Beach. And when I moved to Long Beach, I just went on a whim. That was, I think I went on business on June. And then junio, julio, agosto, septiembre, octubre. Yeah. And then like around that time in November, I moved. And then I started in this new place, which is the same place that I have been, but I just moved to a bigger room now. It's the same building. But now I moved to, like, I was there for like a year. And right the moment that I moved, COVID hit.
Oh my gosh. So was COVID, it just, because for me, I always say it was a good thing for me.
It was a blessing. But I felt so guilty saying it was like a blessing. So I didn't say anything for years. Because I just felt a lot of people were just closing their businesses and everything. But before my page was not, it was growing. I was getting a lot of referrals. I was blessed to have clients that were not afraid to share me, and they were giving me referrals. So I really don't know at the beginning how I grew. I just knew that for me, I didn't want them to feel transactional. So I really cared. And what I did at the beginning was like, I was making notes of like, she talked about this, she said this. So when they will come in, I will also be like, hey, Gabby, so how is your grandma? And like, but a lot of Hispanics book me. Because since the beginning, I've always put I'm Ecuadorian in my Ecuadorian flag.
Yeah.
In my booking site.
Yeah. And see, a lot of people, I have a lot of Mexican clients, and they only speak Spanish. And they love that I'm so like, you know, I only talk to them in Spanish and they feel comfortable with me. Like,
correct.
And then they send me their friends, and then they send me someone of their family. And
or they send you their mom that only speaks Spanish.
Yeah.
And for me, that's such a blessing. Yeah. Like, that is such a blessing, because you're trusting me with your mom. Like, for me, it's like the biggest compliment. So I did that. And then I moved to that second place, and I was solo for that long, you know, but I was like, you know, when COVID hit, if you look at my page from the beginning, you only see, I think what helped me at the beginning was that I put a lot of educational content. And a lot of new estheticians are like, I just don't want to sound stupid. I don't want bigger estheticians to tell me that that's not correct. And I just want to say, if a bigger esthetician tells you something or calls you out, that says more about them than you. Because you can literally address it privately and not bash someone in the content. Because it's already so vulnerable putting content.
Yeah.
And when someone just makes a comment and be like, that's not correct, a chemical sunscreen, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, shut up. Like, don't be crazy. Yeah. Who cares? Sell sunscreen somewhere else, you know?
Yeah.
People are just wild. But that, for me, I just kind of like, I'm just going to do it. And at the beginning, people from Ecuador were like probably thinking, oh, she's an influencer that does facials or whatever. And now those people actually text me and they're like, oh my God, I have this. I went to Derm and they burned my skin. What should I do? And I was like, oh, now you want things.
Yeah.
So it's really.
Yeah. I feel like that whole thing of like educational posts too we were talking about earlier, like, you don't want to just attract estheticians though.
No.
You know, and I feel like for a minute I was doing the same thing. I was putting educational posts, like what not to do, here's some tips and tricks. And for me, that's not who I want to attract. In this page, my podcast, absolutely.
Yeah.
But this is why I have two. This is why I have this page.
Correct.
And this is why I have my business page. But I have gotten in the habit of not doing that, like educational posts on my other page and posting more about my personal life.
Yeah.
And can you believe how many people I've gotten? And they like more clients than ever because I'm posting, they can relate to me.
Oh, I love when people post personal stuff. I'm so nosy. I want to know what you're buying.
Yeah.
I want to know, what do you do when you wake up? Do you go pee first? Do you go and get coffee first?
Do you go on your phone
Like,
first?
I just want to know.
Yeah.
You know, I just feel like it makes that person more human. I was talking to a nail tech and she's like, you look like you have everything put together. And I was like, no, I don't. Why would I? And she's like, oh my God, that makes you not be on a pedestal. I think that's what she put it. I didn't take that in a bad way. I was like, for sure, because people are just people. Why would you put someone on a pedestal? You know what I mean? Like when I started in this industry, I really didn't have a mentor. It was very hush hush. People didn't want to share anything. One of the first person that was very kind to me was Winnie. Do you know her?
Winnie, maybe.
She does websites now, but she's also an esthetician. I think she has changed her. Winnie, shout out to Winnie. I don't know if you have changed your Instagram, but she was very kind. I took her for lunch. You know, it just depends. And then other people were very cliquey. So I never had a mentor, and it's very hard to have a mentor here in this industry. Either people want money from you, but I also understand because, you know, it's hard, but at the same time, you can always be kind, you know?
Yeah.
I can always share things, but like, am I going to share my secret? I don't have a secret, but like, you know what I mean? Like my essence.
Yeah.
That's only mine.
Am I going to gatekeep it? Like,
that's only mine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if people come to me, they come to me also for my personality. But what also helped me during COVID, to backtrack a little bit, is I was forced to be the face of my brand, which I didn't want to be. No, I didn't.
And that's crazy because a lot of people want to be. They want to be the
I could
face.
care less. You know, it will be less work for me if I can make it faceless. But I was able to connect and I was able to reinvent myself and I was able to do virtual consultations. And I could only wash so many times my face and people wanted to see how I wash my face. Did I have the prettiest bathroom? No, but I still showed up and I showed all these things. And at the moment I was doing skin script, so it saved my life because I was able to do like drop ships and do all these things and like make it affordable for people. And it was crazy. And my husband really realized that I was helping people. Because when I will clear them, they will literally cry during like a video calls. And like, also everybody had a lot of time to be off and actually be online. Yeah. So they were like having lives all the time, you know?
Yeah.
And I was just having live talking to myself and people were actually, I think like back then I had a tighter community of clientele than what I have now. It's not that they're not tight. It just feels like now it's more broad. So back then it was like people were able to like comment a little bit more or do those things. Now everybody just likes. It's such a busy type of like, I just feel like the span of everyone is just 2 seconds.
Literally.
So,
and social media now is just so different. Like,
it's so different. I'm such a 90s kid and we didn't know how good we had it until.
Oh, I know.
You know what I mean? Like, imagine our teenage years being out and about. I will be canceled. I was a wild child.
Me too.
Now I'm so boring.
Oh,
and I love it.
Sometimes I've gotten canceled on this podcast on my TikTok. And
you have?
Yeah. I mean, it's because I have said anything. My guest said some stuff and, you know, I like agreed to it, you know, because it was true what they said. But It's not nice. People are really mean.
And it also depends on, you know how like on TikTok, the audience is different. And then on Instagram and then on YouTube, everybody's different. I mean, everybody's going to either hate you because they want to do what you're doing. They just don't know how. But something that people don't have is common sense. Not every single thought that crosses your mind has to be delivered.
So
it really doesn't. But people just want to talk.
Yeah. How much did you charge for your facials in the beginning to now?
No.
Now, yes. I want to talk about it.
And let's talk about the fact that because I didn't start with any type of clientele and I had to build from zero.
Yeah.
We're talking about zero. Cero. Nadie venía. Nadie. So
you wait, on Instagram though, you were posting, that's when...
crazy. And then I started getting clients, right? But then I'll start doing all these, like Facebook humbles you because Facebook will remind you about your mistakes or like all your past things and all the crazy status that you put and stuff. And I will constantly do like $60 facials. Like I will start with like 90 and then I'll do a special or like buy one, get one free. Why?
Because you're trying to attract them. You're trying to bring them back.
But I was not booking though. And when I didn't book, like when I was posting those things, people start asking, why is she so cheap?
Like, what is she using that she's
correct.
So like cheap?
Yeah. So I stopped doing that. And I started doing, I remember when I started charging $125 for a 90-minute, and it was called the Extract Me facial. I was like, I thought that I made it. I was like, oh my God. But then I realized that I was charging too little because it was full on extractions. And it was people that had like non-inflamed acne and my back, my fingers, like I was done. Because I, for some reason, will book them back to back to back to back. Because if someone wants to book you $125 back at the time when you were like making $23 per hour, you're going to say yes. And then you can cry later, about your pain.
Yeah.
And then if I posted more like educational content, once I was able to kind of like record and like post a little time lapse.
Yep.
I got booked like this. But that was back in the day when nobody was doing that. And I got booked like that. And then it just took me to another level where I was like, okay, I need to record this, I guess. So annoying, but it's the only way.
Yeah.
But if you think about it too, like marketing says, which I went to school for, a person has to listen to something for at least 7 times before they start thinking about the possibility or investing or buying it.
Let's short clip that.
It's insane.
That's a good one.
It's insane. And I didn't know that. So it's not like, how you go into the cashier and then you have like el chicle, el chupete, the bum bum boom or like all these little things.
Yeah.
It's because those are impulsive buys, right? So like when I check someone out, I have my lipsticks, my blushes, my little things. And those are things that people can just add. Or like the travel mini sizes or little things like that. But when it's like an investment, even for yourself, if you want to buy like an hourglass, which is a little bit higher in price, you're going to see probably 7 reviews before you buy it.
Oh, absolutely.
Unless you're like me, that sometimes you're just an impulsive buyer, but because you already have built trust in that brand.
And you already kind of know a little knowledge about it too.
Correct.
About that product.
You already had really good past experience with that brand that you're like, okay, they're not going to fail me, and that's how it is. You want to see your research. So that translates into you offer, I don't know, a hydrofacial. You can talk about so many things out of the one video that you did and break it down in different things. You can talk about the steps. You can also talk about the boosters. You can talk about the difference in the tips. Like that already there gives you 3 videos. But a lot of people, they just don't even, they're like, how can we get new clients? Okay, but what have you done to take care of the clients that you already have? That will probably bring you the new clients.
Yep.
So something new that I did that people are going to say that's a lot, but I give for every new client that client brings me, I'm going to give them $50. And that I think is cheap. I should give them a little bit more.
So if, let's say I'm a new client and then I go to you and then I bring someone else to you, you're going to give me $50 for referring them.
Yeah.
That's
after
smart.
that client comes.
That is a
because
really good
I was
idea.
doing $10. Nobody cares for $10.
Oh my god.
Then I was doing
$20.
Nobody cares about $20.
Mm-hmm.
Then I was like, I can give you a cleanser. Sometimes the cleanser lasts you longer. But $50 and giving them the option to do it towards a facial or towards a product, people have referred us. So many people.
That is a great idea.
And a lot of people say, oh my God, but like 50, that's a lot. I'm a small business. Well, $50 is an investment. I either tell my clients, come and get a dermaplane. Mm-hmm. How much does it really cost you for the dermaplane? You're also charging for your expertise, you know? So I dermaplane like this. I also tell them, I'll give you a free LED session. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'll give you a free lymphatic. Like those are also things that you can
add.
Tell them.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't want to give them the 50, you can pretty much prefix it for them. Mm-hmm. But the $50, maybe they want to try, like one of my most expensive products is $235. And I know that a lot of people can't afford it, but once they try it, if they use that $50, once they try it, they will fall in love because I know that they will fall in love because you will educate them about it and they will always buy it.
That is a great idea.
So that investment, and also when they refer you people exactly like them. Their friends are going to be very similar. So if you already vibe with them, that's the vibe that you're going to attract. So that for me has been game changer this year. Especially to fill my girls' books because we have 2 more estheticians at Skin Bar.
So how do you fill their, like, is it stressful for you? Do you post your schedule? Like, how did you come to the realization of like, okay, I can't do all these facials by myself. I need to hire somebody. When did you know you got to that point?
So when I moved from Cypress to 2nd Street, Long Beach, I then made the decision of first bumping my prices because I literally will get home and I wouldn't be able to do laundry because everything will hurt. And I would literally cry.
How many clients are we talking about? Like,
I will used to take when I was solo 60 to 70 clients per month. For me, on 90-minute, all of them.
That's insane.
That was insane.
The lymphatic drainage and massages, the facials, the extractions.
And champagne problems, right? Because you're like crying in money. Because, you know.
How's the little tear with the 100?
Yeah. But I was done.
Yeah.
And it was also making my marriage like to the point that he was like, okay, but you were not. He was trying to push me to move forward with hiring. And I was like, for me, I wanted to hire and make sure that I had all protocols in place. But that's just not the case for everyone. When you need the help, you just need the help. Yeah. So so what I did first was like, I'm not going to hire someone first. I'm going to bump my prices. And then I'm going to bump them again. And people were not leaving. So that made me realize that I was undercharging and that they value me. But some, maybe 2, 3 of them kind of like left. But also they left because I went from Cypress to Long Beach and they didn't want to have like another 10-minute drive. And that I did first. And then after that, I decided to hire one of my girls that graduated with me. Mm-hmm. And that helped me because I was like, I need a break. I need to go on vacation. I need to see the world. Yeah. I just need to go back home. I just need to do stuff. So it was nice to have her
help you. And yeah.
Did she bring the clientele? That's very different. So you have to kind of see, do you want them to bring the clientele, which of course we all want, or do you want also for them to see the clients and for you to have a little bit more of a freedom and quality of life? So when I raised my prices, I was making this way more, right? But when I also hire someone, I was working less and making the same. So it was heaven for me because I didn't have to compromise. And I went to like only working 3 days. I was like, you can take the rest. I was burned out. So I was like, you can take the rest. But I don't know if it happened to you when you had your employees. For me, it was a little bit hard to people wanted me.
That's my issue. That's exactly what it was.
People wanted me. So I make the girls a little bit more affordable. Just a tad bit. So they can go to them.
Yeah.
And I do take pride in training them slowly. So I'm a psycho and I just train them one facial at a time. Once you graduated from this facial, then we move forward and then we'll open your books on that. And then like that.
Yeah. No, that's exactly what my issue is. They're like, but they're not deity. It's not your hands. We love the way you do this. We love the way you when you do this and this and this. And then it's when I did have someone do the facials, right? They weren't saying, my results are not there. Like when I go to you, my skin clears up like this. And when I'm with them, it's like, no, it's not the same.
We were talking about this before we filmed, but I don't call them inspections. I just call them like quality control in a nice way, because my girls I always tell my clients, and it's also kind of like how we rewire their brain.
Yeah.
To like, I'm not abandoning you. You always have access to me. It's just that also if financials are an issue, if you want to come for the weekend, because I don't work weekends anymore. That was my main goal. Because I didn't see my husband.
Because he works during the week. He
works too. So I'm like, girl.
And he has the weekends
off.
What
is this marriage? And for me, it's like quality. So I was like, what does it matter if we have that money if we're not able to like enjoy it together?
Yeah.
So for me, I was like, no. And it's just made everything so easy when I schedule them to do like, give me a facial. Let me see how your pressure when you do dermaplaning works. Okay, so how do you do this? Okay, and like it's just quality control because they know the protocols, but it's kind of like I also like our facials to, there's 1, 2, 3, but not everything is 1, 2, 3.
2, 3.
So we always have like that kind of nice way that we can just customize every single thing. And I do that very often with the girls and they never disappoint. And they also give themselves facials and feedback and stuff like that.
So when do you work? What are your hours? What are your days?
Now I pick up a little bit more hours. So I do Monday, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
So my Thursday is admin day.
With them.
But like Kinsey works and takes clients on Thursdays. So we always try to find trainings. Thursdays are like whenever we have our trainings or like our touch base with our reps. And then they work weekends. And I have half day on Friday.
And how many clients do we take when we are working Mondays, Tuesdays?
I can take, for example, it just depends really the flow. I try to only take 4 max because mine are longer. 3 is a happy medium, but last Wednesday or Tuesday, I took 7. And I always say, I'm going to fire myself, but my client couldn't come. And I had a training for Hydrofacial Thursday and Friday. And I was
Did you just get Hydrofacial in?
We bought another. We already had one.
How do you like it? I want to get on it. The rep keeps calling me, but I've heard mixed reviews.
No. Do you want to come?
Yeah.
Come to my studio and I'll try it.
Because I'm literally going to Vegas for that.
Okay. Come to the studio. I'll try it. I will also send you a link for you to get it. Because I know people there. I have tried all the machines. And there's a place for everything. But in my opinion, if you can afford it, those are the good ones. If you can buy one, I will say Allegro. It's my favorite.
Yeah, we'll talk about pricing later because if you know, you know.
It's like buying a car.
No, literally.
You just have to be okay with the overhead of probably spending $2,000 for payments each month.
Yeah, that's how much
my second one I bought at used.
You could do that?
Once you buy the first one. If not, you have to find a licensing fee. I know, that's how they get you. How they get you. Yeah. So I got it for my esthetician. I was like, let's just buy it. And that is great because you can do events. Like you can bring it from like where you are living right now to here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And why not? I also feel like it's how you price yourself, you know?
Mm-hmm.
If you already know, because they tell you that the cost is X amount, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they're not counting if you're giving, because the way that we give facials, we're not just following protocol. We are literally putting that extra zhuzh to make it even better because they're going to go and get hydrofacials in a med spa.
Yeah.
But what's going to make a difference from us? And we make it prettier. We make it really like super hydrating. We have all the boosters. We do another layer of enzyme mask. I have this amazing machine from Semets that I love. If you don't want to invest in the glacial machine that is high up in price, they have Cool Restore. And that is like a coal hammer. And after doing all of that, extractions, it calms the skin.
Soft skin, yeah.
The other places don't do that. So I have clients who are like, oh yeah, I went to a derm, don't kill me, and they had the hydrofacial, so I did the deluxe with them, but they didn't do this and this and this. And I don't know what they used in back bar, but my face was not so glowy. She's like, nope, I'll pay your prices because we on purpose are higher in price than everybody around us.
Yeah.
On purpose. Because
we're getting the tricks today.
No, I don't know if those are tricks. They're just statements.
I love it. I love it though, because we don't talk about that. We don't talk about like certain brands or anything, because people are like, oh, we don't want to. If they're sponsored by them or like, you know, they'll talk about it, but like how you were going into like, oh, if you don't want to go with this, then you can get this machine because it's more affordable. I love that.
I'm a Semets ambassador. I love them. I think that they have a really price point. And then again, if you're not able to afford a hydrofacial, the best investments that you have are your hands. So work on that first. Work on making sure that you have a really good back bar. We charge the way that we charge because our back bar is legit. And I'm not saying that because you have a more affordable pro brand that yours is not legit, because our back bar goes from SkinScript to Jan Marini to DMK to like really, really like it's clinical. Like we have it all. It's just a specific things of what I like. Every single brand that I carry as skin bar doesn't have the entire line. We cherry pick because
your favorites, what works for what.
Yeah. And it can be a pain in the butt too when you have to place orders, because when you place orders for these companies, they have a minimum SKUs or they have a minimum account for you to like, you know, you got to meet their quota or whatever, if that's your thing. But we just carry what we love, because if you don't love it, you can't sell it.
Yeah, that's so true.
And the way that you can sell your products is actually having the back bar that you sell, literally for your clients to like smell it, taste it, not taste it, but like, you know, feel it. And that's an easy way to sell, because a lot of people wait to sell.
Yeah.
In the bed, at checkout, we sell just by the scents and everything.
I want to know how much your facial is. Let's say I'm getting a full customized facial. Whatever you think I need, I'm like, here you go. I'm giving you gain of whatever you need to do on me.
So let's start by saying that every single facial that you get at Skin Bar is very customizable depending on your budget and what you need for your skin. No matter what you book, that is exactly what we will give you. Now, if you're able to come in for the first time, I always recommend either do the deluxe or the platinum, because it gives you, deluxe is going to be 60 minutes and platinum is going to be 90 minutes of bliss. So if you're able to do the platinum, that one I charge $330, and I choose what I want to do on you, but it will mainly be like, it will have, I call it all the toys. It has all the toys. It literally has lymphatic, it has a form of exfoliation, and we have a glow to facial. We have, you know, we also have a form of exfoliation. It could be the hydrofacial machine. We can throw in a peel at the end, but it has like a full on massage. So it gives us weight, and then obviously we finish with like a jelly mask and like a full facial massage. That is the only one that has that, because we want people to upgrade because it has that perk. So if you ever go into my page and you see someone that looks lifted, sculpt, it's that one.
It's that one.
And then another favorite of mine if people are able to afford it, is the DMK muscle banding. Have you done DMK?
I love DMK.
Okay. I'm obsessed with DMK. Mm-hmm. So we have enzyme 1, right? That you need to do before you graduate to enzyme 2. Muscle banding, which is enzyme 1, 2, and 3. Mm-hmm. But that one is lifting and tightening. And that
I've seen it.
And that one I charge $450 for it. We do have quite an amount of clients who get that, and the results are insane because with DMK, you can actually customize every single thing that you do for exfoliation prior to applying the mask. So we can do so many things. We can target pigment, glycation, like all the things I cannot rave enough about them. Mm-hmm. And they're local. We like to support local. But I like, that's kind of like my pricing is way higher than what I have my girls, because I do that on purpose. I want to build their books. Mm-hmm. But also that doesn't mean that because they are more affordable that they are not quality, because I do the quality control. Like I told you, I literally go in and I'm like, we need to do a facial, and I'm the model. And then I give them feedback, and it's kind of like to always retouch. Something about Skin Bar is that we always are doing trainings.
Now I have a question, because we talked about how you were saying they may think I'm a little micromanaging them, right? Do you make them sign something where it's like, because you're building their clientele, right? Mm-hmm. Do you have them sign something like, this is our clients here only, or
that's illegal?
Or
I don't care what everybody says. Yeah.
Or if they're verging out, and because I've heard that. I've never done that.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I've heard where people are like, and I know this brand, a place where they specifically make you sign something where like, these are our clients only. You cannot take them anywhere else.
European West Center does that, but mm-hmm. the law in California doesn't sustain that in court. But now here's the thing. As a business owner, you don't owe anyone. Right? Mm-hmm. And if my girls decide to leave tomorrow, of course, it's going to break my heart.
Yeah.
But I also, when I hire them, a lot of my clients went to them. Mm-hmm. And I'm okay with that, because they had 2 options in this economy. Either don't come and get facials at all, or go to them. So I wanted them for them. And at the beginning, with clients that are so attached to you and you have built such a bond, 5 years, 6 years together, they don't want to do anyone else. So I made really detailed notes. She doesn't like what the lights are on. She likes this. She likes that. She doesn't like any wording on their music. She likes this. So they just follow that. And you don't have to start over. When you got to go to a OBGYN and you're like, let me tell you all this. I'm not crazy, but when I do this, everything hurts. You don't have to explain yourself and start all over. Everything is taken care of.
Yeah.
So that maybe has been a key factor for my clients to trust me, to the point that they're like, go on your vacation, I'll go to Kinsey. Go to your vacation, I'll go to Riley. And I love that. Now, of course, I want the girls to stay with me forever. But if they can't stay, I'll support them in everywhere that I can. It will be shady if things happen where the entire clientele goes with them. But at the same time, who am I to tell? Not shady. Shady's not like the real world, but it will be devastating. But at the same time, it's kind of like how you handle yourself, right? In this industry. This industry is so small.
Like, who am I to tell her that she can't go to her?
Who am I to tell her that she can't grow?
Yeah.
Right? But at the same time, if she wants to say something, any of them, they can tell me and I'll help them grow. But at the same time, it's kind of like they can make at Skin Bar the amount of clients and money that they want. It's the amount of effort that you put in. It's what you get out. Right? If you're constantly posting on social media or doing this, a lot of the people that are new that call me to book, I always send them to the girls first. I don't even mention my bucks because I want them full. And a lot of people that own a business are going to be like, what? They can take your clientele. They're looking for a Skin Bar.
In general. Yeah.
In general.
Yeah, we get calls all the time like, hey, is this person booked for this? And this person's booked for that. And it's like, I have someone that works under me now. I finally just hired someone because I needed help on the days that I was off because I just had a baby.
Yeah.
And I've known her for so many years. I know her work ethic. I know how good she is. And now that I'm able to get her booked, it feels like, and my clients do trust her because they're like, she's working at your salon. And I know that you trained her. And I'm like, yeah.
And that's exactly what I meant. The word that I wanted to use was not shady. The word is like, I just feel like I took my time to find people that I trust, and I haven't had an issue. Yeah, we can have disagreements here and there, but I have such an open communication that even if people don't like confrontations, or just my husband, even if people don't like confrontations or having a serious conversation that is not a confrontation, people can be very like, but I tell them, listen, I want you to be happy, but if you don't tell me what is happening, what do you need from me? Do you need more trainings? Do you need me to, like, are you not happy with the menu? What's something that you love enjoying and that you don't? I have that conversation, even though it is my business and we're going to keep this menu. It's like, what do I need you to train you more so you can be happy with the service that you're delivering?
Yes.
My girls they have common sense. Love that. You can't find that here. And they also have the mindset of like not having everything transactional. So they really, so my best advice is like hire slow, fire fast. That's the best way. Yeah. Hire slow, fire fast. That's the best way that you can manage your business and also your employees, they can be sweet, kind. They're not your friends. Business is business, and you can treat them with respect, pay them well, don't pay them like crap, and also protect your business. And I'm constantly checking in on their clients. Yeah. I think that's the key. Is everything good? Are you happy? How's your routine? Send me pictures. I'm always texting them just to see. And nobody has complained because my girls are simply the best.
Yeah.
And then, of course I want them to stay, but if they don't stay, it's part of owning a business. Of course I want them to stay. Like Kinsey's going to turn 2 and then Riley's going to turn 1 with me. I never thought that I was going to have a team of 2, which like we talked about, it could be a lot and demanding. Yeah. 2 different personalities.
That's a lot, yeah.
Girls, we're all demanding and we all have, it's a lot of mentorship that happens. And that is the part that is, I don't want to use the word draining, but demanding the most. Because as a business owner, you also are taking care of your clients, your life. You have a kid. I don't have a kid, but
you have 2 kids.
Yeah. See, you have 2 kids, but I have 2 dogs and my husband. And that also demands like trying to have the quality of life.
Yeah.
I do all my social media. I post everything. I make sure that I come up with promotions. It's like, it's a lot.
And this is the thing. One of the things that I got canceled for, they were like, oh my God, but there's people with like jobs out there that do so much more labor than we're just estheticians and this and that. They were saying that. And I'm like, yes, but a lot of times when people have like these 9-to-5 jobs, it's kind of like they can clock out.
Don't think about the rest.
And they don't think about it.
I also don't care what people have to say if my job is less labor or not. Because at the end of the day, everybody can have their opinions. It's literally like, I hate when it's a lot of toxic positivity as well, where people are like, oh my God, you have anxiety, but you're not dying. You just need to breathe. It was like my perspective and my reality and whatever I'm going through the moment is not taken away from whoever else has it worse, because everybody's built differently to sustain so many issues all at once. So your bottle can look completely different. Like a lot of estheticians will take like 17 clients a day. Yeah. That could be me. I don't want to make that much money because I want to have a life and I want to be happy. I get very overstimulated. We were talking about this, me not going to Vegas this year because I have tunnel vision where if I put my full focus, I will get things done and I will meet all the goals. And that's how I started this year. And then I was feeling burned out. And then I was like, nope, I'm going to go to Miami. I'm not going to go to Vegas. I'm going to spend time with friends because that recharges me for me to be a better esthetician, to serve my clients that pay me. That's all that matters.
Because I'm fresh. I'm refreshed. I have a clear mind when I come home.
Yeah.
When we go to Vegas, we're like, oh, yeah, we're overstimulated because of all these brands. And then we have to go to all these like events out there. And then it's just like you're around so many other people in the industry. And it's like, I can understand that.
Now, I am so happy with all the brands that I carry, all the services that I have, all the training that I have done. There's always trainings that you can do, but I'd rather pay a little bit more and have that private training. That's just me. Can sound a little bit entitled. It's just what works best for my anxiety. Because when I go to those events, they're very demanding, and you have to put out you have to be yourself, but you have to be peppy. You have to put up a show, and it's very draining. When I've been to those events, I get sick the next time. But if I get sick, I don't get paid and I can't see my clients. So I have to be in top shape for my paying clients. That's the main focus, to make sure that I am the best version for my clients. That's why I only take 4, because if I take 5, 7, or 6, I am a water version of myself. And I don't think it's okay for me to charge what I'm charging and you getting half a brain cell. You know what I mean? On that day that I had 7, it was a bunch of peels. So peels are like, na. And then you're like laughing, but it's not like, I know a lot of people will understand what I'm saying. Like when you're massaging, it's like a lot of energy exchange.
I'm so glad you talked about that.
And it's very draining, right?
Yeah.
And the focus when someone comes to see me, it's not on me. It's on them. So I'm those people that like, I do absorb that energy. So when I get home, I need to shower. Be like, I'm washing this day off. I made someone better today.
Yes.
But like, it can take a toll on me.
Yeah, that's me. I literally, I tell that to my man all the time. Like, he's like, why are you such in a bad mood? Or why are you so like this? I'm like, I had a long day because I'm dealing with multiple personalities, right? One, they're telling me, like, if someone, like how my client, I told you about this whole thing that's going on right now.
Yeah.
And, times are tough right now, especially
it's horrible
with everything that's going on. And how they took her mom, and that right there, I couldn't even see my next 4 clients after that, because it was just like,
I will cry, and you cry with them. You know what I mean? And it's
all
just,
I could do is just, she came in here, she's like, I just need needed to like be here and like take my mind off of it.
Yeah.
But imagine me, I'm over here. I mean, I'm being selfish, but I was just like, I don't even know what to tell you at this point. Like, I'm just crying. You know what I mean?
But that
I
took nice. It home. Yeah, but
I took it home and I carried it.
You carry it. Like when I go home, it sound dramatic, but when I go home, I'm like, oh my God, Tony and her dog, it's her whole heart. And then I was like, oh my God. And then I text her and I was like, do you need me to like cancel your appointment? No, I need this self-care. Mm-hmm. So we sent her flowers and we gave her an extra purse. Yeah. Because I'm like, she had the vet bills going up and up and up, and she couldn't be like, hey girl, you know what? Right now I can't. Mm-hmm. And I was like, we'll take care of you because you're taking care of us, and you're going through a tough time, and yet you decide that this is self-care. Yep. We don't take that for granted. Yeah. So
and that's how we try.
We try to go above and beyond, and
absolutely,
because people will remember how you treat them.
Yes.
And then with my clients, I tell them, this is your time. If you want to talk about things, you can. If you want to snore, please do. And a lot of clients, it's something about the bed. They cry. They tell me stuff. And, I'm just receptive to hear it. But I also go home and I start thinking about them. Oh, my God, how are they doing?
And I text them too, So I have a lot of clients that I'm so close to now. And if they go through something, I'm just like, I'm thinking of you. Hope you have a nice day and I hope you're okay. You know what I mean? But that's what they keep coming, because they're like, wow, like she actually does care. And I've had clients that have been with me since day one, since working from home.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And they do not go anywhere. And they've come to me every single month for the past 6 years. And it's insane.
I love that.
I love that. I've gotten clients that I got invited to their wedding. I've gotten clients that we become friends, but they still treat me, when they're here, I'm their esthetician, and they pay me what they never ask me. Hey,
there's a fine line. They can be a fine line.
Yeah. And they respect it. And I love, and I'm like, I need those clients.
Yeah. I also feel like a lot of people tell me like, how come, because I charge a deposit. I don't know if you do.
Mm-hmm.
I charge a deposit. I have to. And people forget that you need to educate your clients when it comes to your business boundaries. You just have to.
Absolutely.
And you just have to be consistent, because when you stop, then it becomes messy.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a fine line when you hang out with your clients and all those things.
Absolutely.
It can be messy, but I have, thank God, managed it to a point where I tell the girls, you guys need to charge. I feel horrible charging, but this is a business.
Yeah.
If we don't work, we don't eat.
Yeah.
And then if they get, which we barely do, but our clients will text us 90%. That's a high number in my books. It will be like, hey, I'm so sorry, canceling last minute. Please charge me the remainder of the appointment.
And those are your loyal clients, right?
Mm-hmm. And even new clients.
Yeah. I like that too, because for me and my regulars, like, they always respect, they never have an issue. Oh, yeah, charge me whatever you need to. It's the same. Even though we're cool outside, they always say, hey.
And you know what I do? I throw in a free dermaplaning next time.
Yep.
It costs me, everybody's like, oh my God, but if you charge $50 for dermaplaning, you're losing. I'm having that client for life, because she could have just said, I already give you the half the deposit. Can you charge da-da-da-da-da? Yeah. And you do have clients that do that. So it is a fine line. But if you stop putting those boundaries, if they can leave you, they can leave you. Because if they cancel it out of nowhere once and they got mad, that's their behavior.
Yeah.
And that's okay. That's just not the clientele for you. You know? So that's the main thing.
Well, we're going to end this on a good note. We always end this podcast.
On a good note.
We always end this podcast with a quote. So you have a quote to give us? You can think of anything that your husband has said that stuck with you, something you got from TV. We've had funny ones. We've had really inspirational ones that I'm like, wow, whatever you think.
I don't know. I just feel like a few things. Probably, if you are just starting in your industry, and then if you feel like you need to have a mentor in order to be successful, that is not the truth. Education will be the backbone of your entire business. So once you pour yourself into education, everything else just flows. And everything looks like rainbows and butterflies on social media. And everybody is doing their best as they can, and nothing is rainbows and butterflies. You know, everybody can be having slower months, even your highest paying esthetician or whoever posts on social media, you know?
Yeah.
That's kind of like what I always say. So don't look down on yourself and say, oh my God, I only made 8,000 this month or 30,000 this month, or comparing yourself to others. Back in the day when you used to work your other job, you used to make less.
That's it right there.
So, you know what I mean? Now having this job where you can always be flexible with your time, like if you have kids, or if you want to take that trip, or if you want to drop ship products instead of shipping, like all those things have so many perks. Stop looking at what everybody else is doing and who has more. More is not necessarily better.
Damn, I love that.
It's true. Enjoy what you have.
Yeah, and don't compare yourself. Just because this person's doing good, that does not mean it's all, how you said, rainbows and butterflies. And not even just that, but I see client estheticians say like 30 Brazilians in a day, and I'm like, wow, that's not appealing to me. I don't even look at the money. I'm like, no. I see carpet tunnel. I see 2 more years in the business, and then you are done. Because I had a friend of mine who was in the European Wax Center, and she had a disc, I think, on her shoulder from having the same movement. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, you guys, this is her first podcast, and she was great. No. I'm so happy that you came. This is our first podcast.
Yeah, with a Latina.
I think this was meant to happen.
Yeah.
I think after everything's happening right now, we were meant to do this.
I agree.
Today.
I was like, if I'm going to pop my cherry.
It has to be this one.
It had to be a Latina cherry. Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you so much for coming out here.
Having me.
And then tell them again your Instagram. So
you can find me on Instagram at Skin Bar by Mila, and on TikTok Skin Bar by Mila 11, and on YouTube Skin Bar by Mila.
Perfect. All right.
Come and see me in Long Beach.
Here, go see her, please. Use the Hydrofacial.
Yes, you gotta come.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna take my mom too. I'm gonna
tell your mom.
Yeah, I'm gonna do all that because I need a facial. Look at this. I'm stressed. I have a baby. Like I feel like once you have kids, it's another thing. But that's a whole other story. But thank you so much for joining, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Bye.